Talio there, champs, and welcome to the show. Now, today we're going to see how the Alienware 17-inch, the big daddy of the gaming laptops, actually games. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you the benchmark scores. I'm going to tell you how it performed in the stress test with firestrike and TimeSpy. And then at the end, I'm going to show you my epic gaming skills. I'm going to play a bit of GTA 5. I'm going to have Afterburner running in the background. I'm going to put the mic right next to the laptop so you can hear how loud the fans are. Then we're going to have a look at the temperatures afterwards. So anyway, let's get on to the benchmarks. Now, one thing to note is when I done my review, it was around 20 degrees in Melbourne. Well, inside the house is around 20 degrees. Now, we're getting into the 30s, so this room here is over 30 degrees. So I've done some more benchmarks, so there's been a massive difference in the temperatures from when I tested this for my review and when I tested it for the gaming review. So if you don't know, that's around the high 60s Fahrenheit to up to nearly 100 degrees. So that's the sort of difference there between the temperatures in the 2 days, and that was actually reflected in the temperatures I got from gaming too. So anyway, let's get into the benchmarks. All these benchmarks are at 1440p high settings. So Battlefield 1, 89 frames per second there, so that's basically 90 frames per second. And remember, this has a 120 hertz monitor, so if you want to get those frame rates up to the 120, you might have to drop it down to 1080p or drop the settings down. For me personally, I'll just drop it down to 1080p so you can get those frame rates over 100. So Crysis 3, 1440p high settings, 82.8 frames per second, so virtually 83 frames per second. So again, if you want to get that 120 frames per second, you're going to have to drop that down to 1080p. GTA 5, it absolutely smashed that at 1440p high and very high settings there, 134 frames per second, so that easily reaches that 120 hertz mark there. And DSX high settings, 1440p, 70 frames per second. So on DSX Mankind Divided, you're going to have to drop that down to 1080 if you want those frame rates to get up, or you don't really want to go lower than high, do you? So you're better off just dropping down to 1080. Now, while I was gaming, I said in the review I couldn't get much over 70 degrees. Now with the hotter temperatures in my room, like over 30 degrees in this room, you're looking at over 80 degrees there. With mainly the CPU. The GPU is cooler, the CPU does get hotter. So I've done the stress test on both TimeSpy and firestrike, and it passed with both of them. I think it was like 99% on the TimeSpy one and 98.8% on the firestrike one, I think. So it passed both of them. And again, the temperatures, CPU got in the 80s there, the low 80s, whereas the GPU remained in the 70s. The TimeSpy score was actually 5,278 and the firestrike score was 13,088. So you can see this thing games like a champ, and temperatures are pretty well controlled, although on these hotter days that CPU temperature did get up over the 80s, and you'll actually see when I start gaming, because I've already filmed myself gaming with this. Now it's over 30 degrees in here because I turn the air conditioner off when I film. You'll see that CPU creeping up. It's not a critical temp, but it's there. You'll see when I'm gaming GTA 5. So let's have a look at the Alienware gaming GTA 5, 1440p high settings, and we'll see the temps, and we'll see if she throttles it all. Talio there, chaps. Let's see how this Alienware 17 games. Now, it's pretty hot in here, like it's over 30 degrees. I'm going to put the microphone right next to the keyboard there so you can hear the fans. It's 1440p high and very high and ultra settings, I think. What do we got here? Ultra? No? We can hear it kicking in already. That's the one, ultra. Change that one. Right, 1440p, 120 hertz. Let's go. Well, we'll just leave it high, whatever. So, whoa. All right. All right, let's see the temperatures. So if I was just looking at that, we were sitting at around 100 frames, something like that. 100 frames per second. Let's have a look. Okay, so definitely the GPU is not throttling here. We can see the speed up to 1800, 1700, 1800. That's fine. What temperatures were we going? Temperatures 69 degrees was the max on the GPU there. Now interestingly, let's have a look at the CPU. CPU temperature 84 seems to be the max there. 84. So definitely no throttling. Whatsoever. Max CPU temperature in the 80s and GPU temperature early 70s. So thermal's pretty well controlled there and it's very hot. So yeah, Thank you guys for watching. Give me a thumbs up if this video was useful. Let me know in the comments down there what you think, and until next time guys, tally ho.